afternoon, and welcome to the Red Gorilla Music Festival. This is Ostentatious Productions coverage of South by Southwest and the Red Gorilla Music Festival. I am standing here right now with the amazing band that just had their first show of South by Southwest?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so this is Gigi Scott and Troubletown. So, before we start, I want to introduce everybody.
I'm Eric.
I'm Gigi Scott.
Ben Trexel, guitar.
Leaf Bondarenko.
And Ben actually did an amazing guitar solo in the very last song of their set. And he also doubles as the producer as well as, what else do you do?
I play guitar and bass and produce.
Lead guitar.
Yeah.
And how did you find that that's your calling in life, is lead guitar in a band?
Well, when I was 7 years old, I used to paint lines on my blocks to pretend like they were guitars, and it just sort of went from there.
Ah, so it was psychological.
From the very start.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you.
And this is the beautiful Gigi Scott, who is a wonderful singer, but does not sound like Stevie Nicks. So, just so you know. And as an example of their album, this is what is called a Wampus Cat. What is that, Gigi?
A Wampus cat is a legendary cat. It's mysterious and it lives in the woods of Alabama. It's legendary.
So it's like a chupacabra.
Yes, like my spirit.
Alabama's chupacabra. So tell us about where you're from in Alabama and what's the significance of that in your music?
Okay, well, recently we just recorded at Muscle Shoals, but right now all of us are living kind of around central Alabama, so kind of near Birmingham.
And for people that don't know about Muscle Shoals, what can you tell them about the significance of that to your band?
Well, we recorded there and recently, and I was influenced so much by much of the music that came out of there that I listened to it when I was like a little kid growing up. And, you know, it's all of the greats. It's that swampy sound. You know, like songs talk about swampers. We actually had some swampers play on our record. Now, all of us are not from Muscle Shoals, but we have a strong connection with it. And the music up there is fantastic. We love it. It's kind of my home away from home.
Well, that's wonderful. And what about you guys? What was significant for you guys doing that there?
Oh gosh, just all the history and it's a recording mecca of the world, you know. Everybody from everywhere wants to record there.
What are your band's, your favorite influences that came from that studio? Just so people who don't know.
I would say, not that they influenced this band in particular, but I would say James Brown and all the, you know, Aretha Franklin and those artists that were coming up in the 60s.
Absolutely, some of the bloodline of all the music we have today.
Yep.
So now that we're speaking about sound, so what made you guys decide on your sound? Because for one thing, I think it's amazing when people come together and can create as one. So I want to know from each of you, what made you guys decide you liked the sound?
Eric?
What was the question?
What made you discover the sound that you guys loved and that made you guys all jive and sync together?
Oh, that's a great question, but I have no idea.
What about you, Gigi?
Well, all of us have been friends since literally we were, you know, right out of college. We've all been friends a long time, and, you know, we've played together off and on for a long time. And this band, Troubletown, we've had for 3 years, but we all have connections that go back a decade or two. So we're all good friends. And, you know, the guys really arrange the songs that I write. So, you know, they're the machine behind, you know,
We have a good system.
yeah, we have a good system.
Our system is she writes the songs, and then we bring our years of expertise to fleshing them out in such a way that makes them more timeless.
And here's my next question. This is for all of you as well. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I was speaking to Gigi about this earlier, but as far as genres defining music and different artists' sound, do you think that genres are a positive thing for musicians or a negative?
If you avoid the word indie, I think it's okay. I don't like the word indie. Not like the
Why not? Why not?
Well, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It means that you do it yourself. It's not describing a style of music. So I tell everyone all the time that I believe that there's 1,000 different genres out there. You just got to find your niche. It's different than it was in the 70s, and if you can accept that reality today, then you can do better.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And what do you think, Gigi, about the genre thing?
Well, I'm not real fond of labels because I don't like it reminds me of hasty generalizations, and all bands are unique. But I think because of the fact that you have to label it so people in the industry will understand what they're looking for, we're calling it swamp rock right now. So that's just a term that we're using. You know, we're influenced by rock, we're influenced by blues, we're influenced sometimes by reggae, not heavily, but I listen to a lot of Bob Marley. Listen, I listen to a lot of Graham Parsons, and I'm here in Austin, Texas, and I'm thinking about Graham Parsons and Emmylou Harris, who influenced me too. So, you know, it's a mash of a lot of different things with me.
So who is the main writer for Trouble Town exactly? Songwriter?
It's me. But
It's me.
It is me. But after I finish the material, I run it through Ben, and then of course the next thing that we have to do is put a rhythm section on it, and this is the most amazing rhythm section, one of the most amazing ones in the South. They are good. They are very, 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 they're better than good.
Better than good, I like that. Okay, so now that we know you guys a little bit better and everything, I want to ask, what makes you guys wake up every day and make music, despite, like you were saying, all the changes that happen every year to music, to bands, to what people are listening to? Because you guys are now, number 2 regionally?
Yes.
Which is amazing, and you guys are in the top 200 on the alternative section for the U.S. charts. So you guys are obviously doing something right. So what would that be?
Well, for one thing, we're sailing our own ship, and we're not trying to sound like anybody else. We're just trying to sound like ourselves. So I think that works for us. But as far as me writing music, I've been devoted to it since I was a little kid, and I'm always going to be a musician, regardless of what happens. It's in my heart, you know, it's what I do. And it's the same with everybody here.
What about your parents? Did your parents were they like, yes, you can be a musician, I support you, or did you guys have trouble?
They were very supportive. Very supportive, luckily, because I'm a drummer, and so they had a lot of racket from me upstairs in my room, nonstop, you know?
That's wonderful, because my parents told me, no way, you're not getting a drum set ever. We need to sleep at night. So that is really special. I love asking artists if their parents supported them. Did yours not?
No. Well,
For the ladies, it's hard.
they supported it when I was playing classical music, when I was very young, which was brief. I mean, the classical music period. It was brief. So when I moved off into other genres, they not so much. Yeah, they kind of said, run, don't walk.
Okay.
But yeah, I steer my own ship.
Absolutely. Independent woman. I love that. And I also hear that you guys are maybe going to get a reality TV show. What's up with that?
It's going to be called The Life of Eric.
Really, really boring. Horrible ratings.
I have had an offer, but right now it's just on the table. Well, I don't know what's going to happen.
You guys aren't going to take down the
band
Kardashians?
has not been informed yet, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, now you are informed.
Thank you.
I don't know how I knew that. It is a mystery. But okay, so wrapping things up really quickly, I know you guys got a bunch of new fans today in the Dizzy Rooster here on 6th Street in legendary Austin, Texas. So for them to keep following you, I know you guys have CDs on, what was that, CD Baby?
We are on iTunes. We're on CD Baby. You can find us on Spotify. You can find it on Apple, radio. We're being played on some indie radio stations across the U.S., and we're going to be played on more soon. So we're easy to find. My favorite place for you to find us is iTunes, but if you like Spotify, go there. It's under Gigi Scott in Trouble Town, and we have 2 CDs. The first one, Ben completely, did at his home and produced, and it's fantastic. And then we have the second one that, like I said, we all love, is from the Muscle Shoals area. Right.
And what will be next for you guys? Where do you see yourself anywhere from now to 5 years from now?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do some regional touring. So we're not likely in Alabama. We're going to have to stretch out and play some.
That's going to be very exciting. Where would you like to go then?
Right now, we're looking into a possible trip. Well, there are 2 possibilities. We're looking at one between Berkeley, because the Berkeley radio station has been playing our first CD, which is called Parable at the Cave. They've been playing some cuts off that. So we're looking at the Berkeley area up to San Francisco. And we're also looking at Texas again. I get a really good vibe from Texas.
Yes, we absolutely love you here in Texas. We love it. And you guys. So thank you so, so much for being here and doing this interview with the Red Gorilla Festival.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
The music business needs more people like you and less people like us. I'm serious.
What does that mean?
Well, we depend on people like you to get the word out for.
Absolutely.
Without you, we don't exist.
Thank you. They're making me feel so good. No one's ever done this for me before.
One of the things that's difficult for artists is promotion. Because, you know, I'm a songwriter, I'm a lyric writer, I'm a poet. You know,
You're busy.
Well, I need to be reflective. I don't need to be on the internet talking about myself. It makes me uncomfortable to talk about myself, but I have to.
But you must.
Yes. And he must talk about himself.
Yes, please. Tell us more about yourself before we go.
That's a really difficult open-ended question.
What is your last words?
My last words, it's been great. See you later.
All right, and that has been Gigi Scott and Troubletown here in Austin, Texas on the legendary 6th Street. And this is my pick of their album to show off to you. It has a song, Mexico, on it that I dig very, very much. I want you guys all to go look at it. Look it up, do it right. Thank you so much for being with us on 6th Street for Ostentatious Productions of the Red Gorilla Music Festival. Woo! Yay!